Good afternoon, esteemed guests. It's a pleasure to be here with His Excellency, Mr. Adnan. He's not just a respectable member of UAE family and representing Sharjah, which is quite a unique element within the 7 Emirates, but he's also a good friend. When we have chance, maybe sometimes we play a bit of chess, but we're so busy running around, which makes it sometimes a bit challenging. Now, I arrived in the GCC about 25, 26 years ago. First country I landed in was Bahrain, and I had the chance to also visit Dubai and nearing Emirates, Sharjah, etc. And at that time, Dubai was a very small hub compared to Bahrain. Bahrain was actually bigger. There was over 1 million people in Bahrain at the time, and Dubai was about 400,000 people, give or take. So everything was around the creek area, and very cozy and very traditional. There was the Hard Rock Cafe, which is very symbolic between here and Abu Dhabi. So for those that have been to UAE would have seen it. For those that have been to Las Vegas in the Nevada desert, they probably have seen a similar one as well. Now, we have had a massive transformation over the last 25 years. I mean, when I mean massive, it's like going from one century to another century without going through a middle century. So it has enabled us to look at technology in a completely different way, investment, diversification, so moving away from traditional oil business towards intellectual property, towards investments, towards tourism. One interesting thing about UAE is I think every emirate has diversified and become good at one or two specific things. And that's some of the things that I want Adnan to talk about and to discuss. How Sharjah is different than Dubai, how Sharjah is different than Abu Dhabi. I remember visiting with the daughter of the ruler of Sharjah, the House of Knowledge, which is an amazing library. I invite you to take half a day of your time, go to Sharjah, and you see what a modern library looks like. You can actually print a book on demand of your choice. So if the book is not available physically in the library, you can walk out with that book of your choice. And you just have to wait, anywhere from, I think, 15 minutes or so, bound and everything. Because people still sometimes prefer physical books, not just the digital ones like we read. So I would like Adnan to kind of share the journey that he has taken over the last 25 years to see this massive transformation.
First of all, thank you, George. I'm so much proud and honored to have a friend like you. I believe that relation is more better than business. We need to keep our relations, because relations can be there forever, but the business can go and come. We need to make our heart clean and to be together and cooperate. Forget about the ego, forget about gossiping, forget about how to disturb someone. We need always our heart to be clean, because God always is there to see that the people who make goodness, it will come goodness back to them. To your question that it was coming about the 7 Emirates and UAE, past the years, how we grow. First of all, thanks to our leadership. Our leadership, they make a great. As you know, that United Arab Emirates is a country of world record. Today, United Arab Emirates is the country of justice and equality, country of tolerance. We sent satellites to Mars as well. We will come back to the space field. In 15 years, how we create from the sand a strong civilization, that the country come strong in the economy, in business and security and safetyness. Today, a lot of people, they ask each other why people come from their country to United Arab Emirates to invest or to live. Because our country, they have a strong security and safetyness for the families. Today, if you leave the child in the street to 2 a.m. in midnight, in 5 minutes from the police headquarters, they will call the family that your child is here. We don't have corruption. This is the most important. Today, why the country is strong and success? Because we don't have corruption. Today, my heart pain to see a lot of countries that they are older than us, but still they are suffering in economy. Why? Because of the leadership. Always the leadership listen to his people. That's why our country is strong. God bless His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. He always listen to his people. When we have ideas, issues, he's always there to support. And this is what happened, the durations. It's not because we have oil. No, it's because our leadership, as I told you. There is a lot of countries that they have oil, but you see the economy, what is happening. Yes.
One area that has evolved, especially in the blockchain and crypto world, is I would call regulatory evolution, because crypto is somehow revolutionary. It's trying as a technology of trust. And people were trying to create kind of a parallel system to the traditional financial system that sometimes has failed us in the past. However, I think both worlds need to somehow integrate with each other. You cannot live separate. You know, there's a famous saying in Africa, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go long, go together. So I think both the old and the new need to somehow be integrated. And I think there's been a substantial evolution in the area of regulation in the region. And I think Adnan can share a few of elements of this evolution.
Today, you're telling to me crypto. I don't call it crypto, I call it digital asset. This is more professional to talk about it. Because crypto by itself, the name, is not professional, I will be honest. I'm not a person that I'm involved in blockchain or digital assets or metaverse or NFT. But I study books, I read, I understand, I have knowledge. I believe people think, this is my perspective, I'm sorry, maybe some of you people can come offended, but I'm a straightforward person. Some people think that digital asset, metaverse, and blockchain is the future. It's not the future. It is a tool of wisdoms. Still, we have a lot to explore. If today you will ask me what is the future, I will say the future is the space. We forgot about the space. Today, when the climate change will hit the world, after 10 years, 15 years, we need to search in the space of the new colony to start. This is what see, today, I believe that blockchain can help people. I will be honest to you. See, blockchain have a bright side and have a dark side. The bright side can help people. The dark side can create a lot of mess and issue. What is my, see, I believe that everything to make it as a digital is nice. We must forget about the paperwork and everything to make the people life more easier for their lifestyle. But today, my scare it is in digital assets that the banks are facing is money laundering. This is the most important thing that we are facing. Today, you don't know how many bad organizations they are dealing with the digital assets, forwarding the monies, but there is nobody is there to control. It can be drug money, it can be selling people, it can be lot of things. We also need to understand, we need always to create the world better place. I believe that the new era that we will go, it will be a little bit challenge for the bank sectors to create, to convert everything to the digitals. Still, a lot of countries need to start to follow. This is my answer. Yes.
Adnan is a man of records. Why I mean a man of records? I remember when we discussed last year, there was the challenge of creating a conference in 8 weeks, which is kind of unheard of. A conference that is different than this one, a little bit more about transferring knowledge, focused on government and enterprise blockchain rather than even digital assets. So I remember Adnan taking on that challenge, and today that challenge is being taken once again, this time not in 8 weeks, but maybe with a little bit more planning time, and taking us beyond the blockchain. I remember seeing one of the first uses of blockchain in which the Bitcoin blockchain got replicated into space, into satellite. I've been involved, one YASAT got launched into space, and we took the C-band of the YASAT satellite with a company called Emerging Markets Communications, and from Miami, and we actually covered the entire Earth. Most of the applications were actually in Africa, so we were giving real-time bandwidth for video conferences and others, utilities, enterprise ERP systems, so you could run the United Nations, the World Bank, African Union, and a few others combined together. So if you went to Omnison, which is one of the refugee camps, you could see they have access to their entire system just by putting a little dish up in the sky as if you're in the office here in Dubai. So that is a big thing. So Adnan has taken the challenge of the next frontier for the upcoming conference and transferring this knowledge and bringing some of the potential future leaders that you may have heard of. Like many people here have heard about Elon Musk. How many people respect the innovative ideas this man brings from the electrical car? He did not invent it, but he made it popular and accessible. But space is definitely one, and he's got a company called SpaceX, another one called DirectX, that is completely going to revolutionize telecommunications. Means that anywhere on the planet, you will get gigabit speed with low latency. So you'll be able to watch a video or do your business regardless of where you're located on Earth. And this because he's launching about 600 satellites simultaneous at the same time. So Adnan, tell us a bit about space.
Yes. The first challenge that I got, it was in 2021, when I was in duration of 3-4 years back. I was going to a lot of conferences and events. When I didn't see Emiratis keynote, Emiratis panelists, Emiratis can come to show their startups, their technologies. Then I spoke to His Highness. I say, Your Highness, why we don't create an event or conference can add value to the audience? My respect to a lot of conferences is happening. It's not adding value to the audience. The most important it is. And we create Future Innovation Summit. It was about education, blockchain, artificial intelligence, telecommunication, real estate, healthcare. It was in October 2021, and it was successful. We create strong foundations from beginning, and we help a lot of, and 70% of the conference were all Emiratis. From the government entities and some private sector, we joined the forces, and we add value to the audience. Now my new event is coming, and I'm inviting all of you. It will be in May 11 and 12 in Meydan Hotel. It will call Future Innovation Summit. We have 3 important topics that we are discussing, and we will be the first in Middle East. It's about the space, metaverse, and sensibility. 3 main topics that people forget about it. That this is the 3 is the future. And people think, why Elon Musk, why Bill Gates, or what these people, why they are rich, why they don't support and help. If you go to their backgrounds, they started from zero. They didn't born to be rich. Lot of them, they had bad days in their life till they approach and what they deserve. You need always to remove the failure from the list of choice and convert it to a hope and dream, because hope and dream is magic. This is what I believe. And believe me, each of you have the key of success that can use it, and the time will come that the world will know you and remember you. This is what I believe. At the end of the day, we come from the earth and we go to the earth. This is what I believe. Thank you.
Okay, I would like to thank His Excellency Adnan Al Noorani to spend a short time with us, and you know, from his busy schedule. Anybody who wants to ask any question from the audience? So I like to make things a little bit interactive. I'm sure one of you has some important question they would like to get an answer for. So you got your chance.
Anyone can give me a question. I don't mind. I can answer it. I'm a straightforward person. Don't worry. Ask any question.
Anybody wants to be famous for 1 or 2 minutes? Come on, Muru. Mr. Pedro. I think there's one, so please. Oh. Yeah, we'll get you a microphone, no problem. It was a pleasure to meet you in Abu Dhabi and at many other events. This is a visionary lady. I don't think we have enough ladies in our business. So.
Thank you very much for your wise comments, and I particularly appreciated your comment about blockchain being a tool for social transformation and improvement, and I would love to see a drive in the UAE to lead that, because I don't see enough of that here, and I really appreciated your comment, and I'd love your thoughts on how you are able to become a leader in blockchain for social impact and sustainability.
Thank you very much.
Okay, one last question. I think we have, I knew Pedro was going to take one. So get the mic to Puerto Rico. Buenos días, señor. Bienvenido.
Good morning. I just have a quick question in terms of the UAE's outlook in terms of government transactions on the blockchain. To my understanding, there was some law that was instigated some time back that said 100% of the UAE's transactions would be on the blockchain by 2025. What would be the progress on that, and how do you see the UAE fulfilling that type of promise?
See, as you know, today we have, I think, Dubai Blockchain Center, right? It's for Mr. Marwan, that it is based in DMCC, that already he is cooperating with the government entities, and here our good friend, that he can help the companies that they want to be involved in blockchain. I believe that we say to the public that 2025, it could be the deadline. But believe me, in this past years, you will see a lot of things in United Arab Emirates, as we are also now doing taxis can fly. The RTA is working on it. And now we are cooperating with one big company in India to build a metro under the water. This is now soon. A lot of projects now it will come, because I told you that beautiful land of United Arab Emirates, we are a country of miracles. And soon you will see good news, inshallah. Thank you.
I can tell you one interesting story about, and it will apply to the blockchain. It was actually in the days of e-government, so this dates back almost probably 10 years. It's how Sheikh Mohammed implements his leadership, and I'll tell you the story because I think it's quite valuable. Sheikh Mohammed had said, all government departments must implement e-government. 1 year had passed, and nobody did much. And there was the annual e-government awards. So he comes to the stage, he says, remember, I told you last year to implement e-government. It's now 1 year. How many of you have implemented e-government? I've not seen the progress that I expected. So next year, we're going to have an awards. And we'll have 2 types of awards. Those that implemented e-government will get an award. Those that did not implement e-government, it will be their retirement party. So please choose wisely. Guess what happened the following year? Things moved at the speed of light. So I think in the blockchain space and implementation in government, you'll probably see a very similar scenario. So when they set a deadline, and by the way, this applied to the metro. The date was set maybe not all the stations were open, but the metro opened on the date that it was set.
Any more questions? We are ready to answer.
One last one at the back of the room. Please, we need a mic. Last one, because I think everybody wants afterwards go to lunch as well, prayer. I think we have an artist question at the back of the room. Last one. Please go ahead.
Thank you for a wonderful time. I'm 18 years old from Japan. I think that the entry of younger people is absolutely necessary to create a new world. I does not impose the shadow values of younger people, but to become friends as living together in the world. On top of that, I also really felt potential of this area today. What do you think is our strength in the entry of teens like me?
So what are we doing for the young generation?
Today, if you ask me where you want to invest your money, I will say I will invest my money in generation. Because the generation will lead the future. We always need to invest in education, healthcare. We need always to remember our teachers, and we be proud of them, because they were the second parents to us, to educate us. That today what we are and what we reached is because of the family, of the parents, and because of the school. Big claps to all the teachers, please, if you don't mind. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think everybody remembers that teacher in high school that forced you to be better at English or French. I do remember even the name of this teacher to this day. Why? Because they made you work hard. I think we're wrapping up the panel because everybody has extra things to do, prayer, lunch. But I think Adnan wants to leave you with one final message, so I pass it back to Adnan to wrap up this fireside chat. Thank you.
Thank you, George. I want to give a small message, and I will not take the time of people. Let's focus 1 minute about our families, parents. Let's forget about business. Clear the mind. Today, if you are sad from your brother, take the phone and call him, apologize. Or you don't talk to your mother or father, try to contact them, because the current situation, it's affecting everyone. And you don't know who can be alive and who can be dead. God bless all your parents. Always try to be kind, because the kindness and humbleness, it's always winning in this world. God bless all of you. God bless your families, and thank you so much.